All right, party people. This your man Griff. I've said this before. Your ability to make a decision is the key to your success in life. I talked about this before in a video. I don't know where, somewhere out there. And what I'm learning in the 7 years that I've been doing this notary business, and I'm constantly, I'm around a lot of different people, meeting new people, all of that. What I'm seeing is that there are a lot of people who are very indecisive and they avoid. I won't say they lack the ability to make a decision, but a lot of people avoid just making a decision, and they're constantly looking for people to tell them what decision to make. But they don't want people to have control over their life. And what they don't realize is that when they forego the opportunity to make a decision, when they duck and dodge the opportunity to gain knowledge so that they can make a decision, you're giving people control of your life. So if you're doing that prior to being a business owner, and then you become a business owner, you get what I'm saying? That's what I see happening consistently when I'm out here working with people. That a lot of the signers, they're going through a transaction and they don't want to read the documents. They don't want to use reasoning and logic to conclude that this is what this means. They're constantly looking for somebody to tell them what to do. And these are some big transactions. They don't take the time out to talk to anybody, to inquire whatsoever. And they're sitting there looking at you like, okay, tell me what I'm supposed to do here. And the bad part is that as a notary, legally, if we don't feel that you understand or you're confident and comfortable in doing knowing what you're supposed to do, we ain't supposed to notarize anything you sign, because it's clear you don't understand what you are supposed to be doing. You have no confidence in yourself to make the right decision for this transaction. And the notary is not there to bail you out and to assist you in making the proper decision concerning a transaction that you've been working on for maybe in some cases up to a year. And then that same person, those same individuals would then turn around and say, I want to be a business owner of some sort. And in the process of being a business owner, they do the same thing. Can't just tell me what to do. And no one puts forth any effort to ever learn, to ever gain the knowledge that they need to have. And they're wasting time waiting on other people to share their so-called knowledge. It doesn't make sense. And it can be very frustrating, because then the person is looking at you and thinking that you are being a little dismissive, unwilling to work with them or help them, and they feel abandoned. But then if you go overboard and start running off at the mouth, you could end up saying something or misarticulating something and could cause the whole deal to go down. And there's entities that are part of this whole loan closing process that have the responsibility and the knowledge to make sure that the person who they want to go on contract with understands what they're doing. And sometimes they don't take the time out to make sure that those individuals are knowledgeable on said documents, especially the tax forms when you're doing a seller. And that makes it hard. That really does. That makes it hard sometimes for me, because the person, and they just don't want to make a decision. And they could have had something tragic happen in their life that just might be their personality. They might have been told, oh, well, don't worry. When you get there, the notary will answer all your questions. Or don't worry, it's just something simple, just a few documents. And I've heard that. Or it's just a few forms, nothing for you to really be worried about. And they never really educate the person. And then that person is like, I'm completely lost. Why? Oh, I got to check a box off. I got to check this. I got to, what, I don't know what any of this means. That's the crazy part. And then I'm not saying this is a bad business. I'm just telling you this is how it is. And many of you know it. And if you've experienced that, say so in the chat. Say so in the chat, because I'm telling you, if you're new in this business and you're like, oh yeah, I want to get in here, it don't matter whether it's loan closing, estate planning, or what have you. There are a lot of entities out here that they just want people to sign a piece of paper, and they do not in any way, shape, or form educate them on anything. They do not educate them on, hey, here's what the problem is, or here's what your concerns are, and this is how you deal with them and address them. Sorry about that. When I say here's what the problem is, I saw something that threw me off. Here's what this means. Okay? They don't do that. Here's what you need to be aware of, and this is what this document stands for. And sorry about down here by the airfield. Here's what this means, and this is why you need to fill it out, and this is the importance of it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And that's the dilemma. That's one of the stressful parts in this business for me, is that I'm expected to pick up the pieces, and I don't even know what the pieces are. And nobody is truly training notaries on those pieces, because the pieces that are left out here are not in our wheelhouse at all. Tax forms, 1099-S. That's not in my wheelhouse. And I know it's not in my wheelhouse because the title company, when they get calls and being asked about them, they say, oh, that's not in our wheelhouse. The lender says that's not in our wheelhouse. Get with a tax professional. So everybody else is telling them to get with a tax professional, but then they're looking for the notary to tell them what to do on this tax form. Makes no sense in any way, shape, or form. So I just thought I'd share that with y'all. And yes, I just finished dealing with something similar to like that. So that's why I'm sort of venting. Everything went well. We got it all signed. I have to give credit to the title company and the realtor and all of them. They stepped in and helped the person out. But they kept saying over and over again when it came to them tax form, well, you need to get with a tax professional. You need to get with a tax professional. And I'm like, yeah, that's what needs to happen. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. On my way to my next appointment. Talk to y'all later. Peace.